In this lesson, you'll learn the difference between a DSLR and a mirrorless camera, two of the most popular options for professional and amateur photographers on the market today. DSLR stands for Digital Single Lens Reflex. Basically, on a DSLR, a mirror has to move for the light to hit the sensor in your camera. The mirror sits in front of the sensor and allows you to see through the camera's viewfinder and through the lens. If you take off your lens on the DSLR, you can see the mirror and the shutter opening as I press the shutter button. You can see that there's a mirror right there. You don't actually see the sensor at all. You just see the mirror, and you see it reflecting through up into the viewfinder. I have it in bulb mode, so I'll be able to basically push down the shutter, and now you can see the sensor itself. That's the cropped sensor for this DSLR. If I close it, the mirror comes down. So let's break the shutter back up to something really fast, like 2,000th of a second. When I take the picture, see how fast the mirror moves? The mirror moves out of the way to expose the light to the sensor. Pretty cool, huh? A mirrorless camera is just that. It has no mirror. When you take off the lens, this camera, we expose the sensor in its full glory. Nothing is blocking it at all, which means the viewfinder is actually a tiny little screen inside the eyepiece, allowing you to see everything the sensor is actually seeing, including, for most cameras, the exposure. The mirrorless camera has no mirror. So we're gonna push the button, and I'm gonna take off the lens like before, and the sensor is exposed immediately. There's no mirror there at all, and I can't even push any button to make anything move because the sensor is right there, right in front of it. This camera is a lot lighter, and you can see it's much thinner than the DSLR itself because there's no reflex. Having a mirror and not having a mirror is the main physical difference between a DSLR and a mirrorless camera. But this changes a lot of things for both systems. Number one, using the mirror allows the DSLR to have an optical view of the action in real time, which means you see the light that's coming into the lens, but you don't see the actual exposure that will be captured by your camera, based on your camera settings. On mirrorless cameras, they are able to give you a preview of what your exposure is in the EVF, electronic viewfinder, in the eyepiece as well as the screen on the back. Today, most DSLRs will let you preview the exposure on the back screen, but you still have to move the mirror to do that, rendering the optical eyepiece useless. Mirrorless cameras will tend to be smaller since there's no need for that whole reflexive mirror system, which means there's space for less buttons, making most of the controls menu-based and digital on most mirrorless cameras. Size affects everything. Because of the smaller camera size, batteries tend to be smaller. Mirrorless cameras will chew through batteries quicker because their sensor is constantly on, along with either the back screen or the EVF with your eye. Currently, the cost of mirrorless cameras with the same quality settings as a DSLR will be a bit pricier, but those prices are coming down, and by the time you watch this, it might be more similar. These are the main physical differences between the two camera systems.